Good morning, guys. David from Mighty Mouse Solutions. I woke up to some Facebook chatter about eBay cans. So, hey, Mighty Mouse Solutions Catch Can Challenge eBay cans. Maybe all these things are the same, and us Americans or rip-off artists, snake oil salesmen, just like to charge a lot more. So, let's just find out, because they're all made the same, right? They all do the same job. Even heard that nobody even tests these things. So I don't know. I just stumbled upon this test rig here. So let's just see what happens. Here's just an example of one of your fancy eBay cans. They're not all the same. Some of them are like this little guy that do a pretty half-assed job of catching oil in a stock PCV system. But then you can jump straight to some stuff like this if you want to completely ruin your evacuation, fumes control, crankcase filtration, because you have a race car. So this is a dual 8 inlet, and here I'll show you some of the technology you're paying for. I don't know if you can see there. That's pretty impressive there. So maybe ask the guy, hopefully he speaks English, what's going on in their catch can before you buy it. I'm going to run some oil through this. I'm going to cap off one side just because my test has a single line running to it right now. We're going to just throw some misty oil in this so you can get an idea of what happens in your engine bay when you're heading down the drag strip. Or going down the road in your daily driver that you saved $200 on a catch can that you're going to be using for the next several years. So I'm going to throw some oil in this. You'll see it, well here, let me get you a little closer. There's a very fine mist. Here, I'll turn it up a little bit for you. Make sure you can see it. There's a very fine mist leaving. Obviously, when there's nothing in the catch can, it's going to be extremely difficult to do anything with that. But there you go. So that's happening all the time. Sure, it's going to collect a couple drips in there, but in general, you're not getting a lot of help from that. And all this that's coming out, you're going to smell that. Maybe your girlfriend or wife's going to smell that. She's going to be annoyed. But hey, America, exhaust smells, engine smells. Maybe you're not bothered by that. And at least you're getting maximum flow because there's nothing inside the can to restrict flow, right? So, but let's just say that maybe you wanted something better. Maybe you have, maybe you have a newer car. Maybe you have something like this, 2016 twin turbo Z06. Maybe it makes 1,200 horsepower. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you want to, daily drive it. Maybe you want to take it to the movies. Maybe you don't want to smell like an engine for the rest of the day. So there are some options, believe it or not. And, dang, they might cost more to make. So we'll flip this catch can out. This eBay Pride and Joy here. We're going to throw in, this is a Gen 4.5 because I got some prototype crap in it, but it's really relevant for this test. It's a draft, Mighty Mouse draft, 8 inlet, 6 exit can. You have the ability to run this to a suction line, like your air box, air filter, to control those fumes. Also, you could put it in line of a PCV system with integrated PCV valve to control the vacuum application. That also buys you the crankcase filtration, so you're always drawing out fumes and flushing the crankcase with clean, fresh air is part of the filtration cycle that some of you are removing from your nice vehicles when you just go to one of these open vented eBay type cans. Of course, these eBay type cans will work for that, except for they're only going to work for stock power because the stock size hoses, there's no way for any new flow that gets created when you add horsepower to be accommodated. So here's mine. Throw it on. Same setup. I threw some extra fittings on this just to get us where we needed to go. Suction line. Again, to any low pressure source, you know, it could even be the exhaust if the last thing you want to do is anything environmentally friendly. So same test, turn it on, oil's coming in, and I'll add the vacuum. So this is like 4 CFM of vacuum, similar to PCV system and on average. So what you're not going to see, let me get up close for you here. You're not going to see any fumes. That's because the breather's shut. It's not smelling. It's not doing anything except separating the oil. And you can even hear it open and shut. Let me make sure that the air's turned up. You can hear it open and shut. Okay? Why does it do that? Maybe somebody was paying attention to how they made it. Maybe somebody cares about making sure their customers have what really works for them. Call me crazy, but you know, there are some professionals out here, and I think they like building good stuff. Oh yeah, and the last thing, what if all you were worried about was maximum flow? So, well, this can's restrictive. It's holding back all my bald eagles from coming out. At least this eBay can's not going to restrict any of that. Sure, it's going to mist a little bit, but who cares, right? Because it's a drag car. I live my life an 1/8 mile at a time. I got no air filter. I don't even have a muffler. My shit comes straight out of the front bumper probably these days because that's cool on Facebook. So, we're just gonna do an airflow test. Well, I'll be damned, this thing can do an airflow test too. Somebody must be pretty serious about this stuff. Air on. Let's see how much air this thing will hold. So this right here is crankcase pressure. This is bad. The higher this thing goes, I run them up to 3. Let's stop. No, let's keep going. Fuck it. Air compressor cut on. I'm throwing some air through this. 3 PSI. I'm at 12 CFM. So that's a 1/2-inch hose. Same hose, right? I just ran it through mine. 12 CFM. Pretty dang good, right? All these bald eagles aren't getting contained. Remember, single 8, we're wide open, baby. Same catch can, draft 8.6. Overpriced. Fake oil. Just trying to rip people off. Not gonna do any tricks, not gonna hook up my pretty little suction line for this. We're just gonna turn it back on. We're at 3 PSI crankcase pressure, which is a threshold test that I do. And we are just about 13 CFM. It actually flows more than the completely hollow eBay can. Why is that? Science. Some people are professionals. Thank you, MightyMouseSolutions.com.